Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. This is Kim again. And ito nga pala yung second part ng video na kung saan i-discuss natin yung iba't ibang pathways na pwedeng i-take ng mga physical therapist from the Philippines. And itong video na to ay i-discuss natin yung HCPC, PBNZ, TTMR pathway na kung saan as I mentioned from the previous video, ito yung isang pathway na pwede nyong i-take na kung saan walang examinations pero i-discuss din natin kung ano yung mga pros and cons kung sakaling gusto nyong i-take itong pathway na ito. Now, just to give you a little bit of overview, ano ba yung HCPC, PBNZ, TTMR pathway? So this pathway is one of the options that you can take for you to become a licensed physiotherapist dito sa Australia. When it comes to eligibility, you will have to be a licensed physical therapist in the Philippines, meaning you have accomplished your BSPT course in the Philippines and you currently hold an active physical therapy license in the Philippines, and it would be much more advantageous if you have your professional experience. Now, HCPC, PBNZ, TTMR pathway, it's a series of conversions of licenses from different countries until mapuntahan mo tong Australia, no? Ang HCPC ay ito yung governing body ng mga healthcare practitioners sa UK. Ang PBNZ naman ay yung Physical Therapy Board ng New Zealand, while yung TTMR naman ay yung Trans-Tasman Mutual Recognition Act of 1997 na kung saan pwede mong ma-directly convert yung license mo from New Zealand to Australia or Australia to New Zealand. So, yung conversions of registrations na yun ay lengthy siya kung tutuusin pero overall ay mas cheap siya as compared to the standard pathway, which is the APEP. Kung hindi mo pa napapanood, yung previous video, I have discussed the outlines kung paano ba mag-process ng standard pathway. And yes, so ito yung HCPC, PBNZ, TTMR pathway. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, mas maganda if may professional experience ka kasi starting from HCPC, UK registrations ay very tedious na yung processes nila. Dahil nga sa marami nag-a-apply ngayon, mas nagiging mahigpit sila sa pag-check ng mga credentials, ng mga references. So, you'll have to be prepared pagdating sa mga documentations mo, no? Now, let me just discuss to you the pros and cons na nakita ko about TTMR pathway. When I was making research about this pathway, ay kung titingnan mo ay napakaganda nito kasi instead of you going through those standard examinations, written and clinical, in this pathway wala siyang examinations. Now, for this video, nagawa ako ng reference ko na kung saan ay nilista ko yung mga pros and cons na nakikita ko pagdating dito sa pathway na to, no? Number one pros ay no examinations, no? Wala kang exam na kukuhanin even with HCPC, even with PBNZ, even with TTMR, walang examinations na kukuhanin, no? Number two, as I said earlier, dun sa previous video natin, etong pathway na to ay less expensive. Kahit na maraming steps itong pathway na to at mas lengthy siya as compared to the standard pathway. Kung mamadaliin mo yung standard pathway, mas mura talaga siya, no? Kasi ang mahal din ng clinical examinations, mahal din ng written examinations. Overall, mas mura ito. Number three, instantly, kapag naging successful ka sa pag-convert mo ng licenses from one country to another country going towards Australia, general registration ka na. So, hindi ka na limited. Ibig sabihin ay hindi mo na kailangan mag-renew ng mga interim certificates and everything. So, ibig sabihin ay full, unrestricted accredited general physiotherapist ka na dito sa Australia. Next pros naman ay dahil sa nagkaroon ka ng registration sa iba't ibang country, namely Philippines, UK, New Zealand, and Australia. Imagine, you got 4 registrations in just 1 year. Sometimes 1 year lang or roughly 1 to 2 years lang. Imagine, meron kang 4 registrations. Ibig sabihin, kahit na sabihin natin na hindi talaga para sa iyo ang Australia, you still have other options na country na pwede mong puntahan given na meron ka ng registrations. Pero kaakibat nun, syempre, ay kailangan mong i-maintain yung registration na yun. Kasi once na makuha mo yung registrations mo, you'll be given 1 year para i-renew siya. No? So, ibig sabihin, i-renew mo siya ng i-renew. Pero once na masecure mo na yung general registrations, obviously, hindi mo na kailangan pang i-maintain yung registrations sa UK, hindi mo na kailangan i-maintain yung registrations mo sa New Zealand kung hindi mo na talaga siya kailangan. Australian physiotherapy license lang talaga yung habol mo kung bakit mo siya kinuha yung pathway na to, no? Lastly, isa sa mga pros na nakita ko ay kung i-compare mo siya sa isang employee or isang applicant na merong limited registration as compared to general registrations na nag-undergo ng HCPC, PBM, ZTTMR pathway, ay mas malaki na yung opportunity mo na ma-hire dito sa Australia. Dahil nga, pagdating sa limited registration, hindi lahat ng employer ay tumatanggap ng mga physiotherapist under limited registrations given na medyo mahirap yung processes and medyo mabusisi din yung preparations when it comes to hiring someone with limited registrations dahil nga sa mga supervision reports and everything. Now, given na, in a sense, general registrations ka na kahit anumang pathway yung kung paano mo man siya nakuha, dito sa Australia, labeled as general physiotherapist ka na. So, ibig sabihin, you'll be treated as full unrestricted physiotherapist na. So, mas marami na ang employer na maaaring mag-hire sa'yo. Ayun yung mga pros na nalista ko. And definitely, there are other more pros na pwede nyong makita along the way when you're applying, pero ito yung isa mga highlights na pros na pwede nyong makonsider when you wanted to take this pathway. Now, mag-proceed naman tayo sa mga cons. Ano naman yung mga downside, yung mga downgrades nitong pathway na to, no? Okay, so isa sa mga cons na nakikita ko pagdating sa pathway na to ay para sa mga fresh graduate or mga newbies sa physical therapy, no? Kung hindi ka pa confident sa clinical skills mo, hindi ko masasuggest itong pathway na to. Dahil nga sa direct conversion lang naman siya, no? Walang clinical examinations, walang written examinations, meaning hindi mo na-assess. Hindi na-assess yung capacity mo if mamimit mo ba yung standards ng Australia. Hindi mo rin makukuha yung mga feedback na kailangan mo makuha when it comes to your evaluation skills, clinical skills, paggawa ng mga treatment plans, as compared to someone na nag-undergo ng limited registrations, mabibigyan sila ng feedback as compared to someone na nag-clinical examinations, written examinations, and clinical workshop, nabigyan sila ng feedback and paano nila may improve yung sarili nila. Pagdating sa'yo, solo flight ka, independent ka, and since general physiotherapist na yung registration mo dito sa Australia, malaki na talaga yung expectation sa'yo. I-assume na nila na kaya mo na talaga mag-handle ng mga complex cases. You already know the protocol, alam mo na rin yung Australian healthcare system, meaning less to no supervision ka na as compared to limited registration. Next cons na isa sa pinaka-importanting malaman kung sakaling gusto mo mag-apply dito sa pathway na to ay you are not eligible for skills assessment from APC since hindi ka nag-undergo ng standard pathway nila. Recently, binago nila ito kasi nga medyo shortcut siya as compared to the standard pathway. So, naglagay sila ng isa pang criteria para maging eligible ka for skills assessment. So, sabi sa APC, kung titingnan nyo yung website ng APC, sabi doon, kung sakaling nag-undergo ka ng pathway na to for you to be eligible for skills assessment ay kailangan mong magtrabaho ng 2 years sa New Zealand. After mo magtrabaho for 2 years sa New Zealand, saka ka pa lang magiging eligible for skills assessment from APC at magagamit mo yung skills assessment na yun when you apply for permanent residency. Now, the biggest question is, kung sakali na i-take ko tong pathway na to, do I still have the chance to become permanent resident dito sa Australia? Of course, yes. It's just your visa options will be limited. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ka maaaring mag-apply ng mga visa na mayroong skills assessment unless magtrabaho ka sa New Zealand. So, 190, 189, hindi mo maaaring kuhanin yun as your visa options. But you can still be permanent resident pag pumunta ka dito sa Australia with this pathway. Ang pinakasikat na pwede mong kuhanin na visa option ay yung 482, and then after 2 years, you'll have to convert that to 186 transitional stream, which is an employer-sponsored permanent resident. Ibig sabihin, kailangan mo ng employer para maging permanent resident ka. Kailangan mong humanap ng employer na i-sponsoran ka for permanent residency. Pero as individual, kung sakali na ayaw mo na nakatali ka sa employer, kailangan mo muna magtrabaho ng 2 years sa New Zealand bago ka maging eligible for visas na independent, na pwedeng ikaw na mismo yung mag-apply na hindi mo kailangan ng ibang employer, no? Yan, so kailangan yan ay makonsider nyo when it comes to choosing the right pathway for you. And as I mentioned from the previous video, when it comes to applying for registration dito sa Australia, dapat ay alam mo na yung buong timeline mo. Ano yung mga pasikot-sikot na dapat mong puntahan, and kung sakali na ito yung pathway na kukuhanin mo, dapat alam mo na talaga na ito yung magiging barrier mo sa pag-a-apply mo ng permanent residency. Kasi in the first place, isa naman talaga sa primary reason kung bakit ka nag-a-apply ng as physiotherapist dito sa Australia ay para maging permanent resident and maging citizen. So, kailangan mo itong i-consider, no? And last cons na naiisip ko para dito sa pathway na to ay hindi lahat ng employer ay attracted sa pathway na to. They see this pathway as a shortcut. Ibig sabihin ay yung confidence nila pagdating sa assessment skills mo ay mas less definitely as compared to someone who has a general registrations who underwent the APEP or the standard pathway. I have a friend dito sa Australia na under limited registrations, and she asked her employer kung maaari ba niyang kuhanin itong TTMR pathway, no? Para maging general physiotherapist na siya dito sa Australia. And her employer actually told her na hindi nila gusto yung pathway na ito dahil sa nababypass yung clinical and written examination. So for them to be more confident, mas sinasuggest talaga nila yung standard pathway, which is APEP. Yun. So at the moment, she's currently studying for her written and clinical examinations. So yun. Ayun lang naman yung mga pros and cons na maaari nyo makonsider when it comes to choosing this pathway when you're applying for registration dito sa Australia. And on the next video, pag-uusapan natin yung part 1 ng series na to, na kung saan pag-uusapan natin yung first step, which is HCPC UK. Now, ito yung isa sa pinaka-lengthy na process pagdating dito sa pathway na to, kasi ito yung UK talaga yung pinakamabusisi. Once na mapasa nyo na tong HCPC, ay tataas na yung confidence nyo to process the other two processes. So please subscribe to my channel and maglagay na rin kayo ng mga comments nyo kung may mga questions kayo pagdating sa processes na to. And I'll try my best to answer all of your inquiries. So yeah, so see you on the next video.